Asia Cup 2023. Today's game was between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. So I have some England fans with me.
No,
So
Sri Lanka fans.
Sri Lankan fans. Now they are Sri Lankan
Sri
fans.
Lanka fans
From England. Okay, that's better. So how was today's game?
Loved it.
I thought it was
Amazing.
incredible. I
Had a
thought it was
great
incredible.
time.
I think Bangladesh could have batted better, but I think Sri Lanka bowled so well that it made it very easy for Sri Lanka in the chase. And then Sri Lanka broke the body with the chase.
Yeah,
And
they took their time. You know, they realised, there's no point going really hard.
Yeah.
They're going to take their time, get some runs behind the top batters, and an easy win in the end.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very easy.
Yeah.
What are your ideas about our captain Dasun Shanaka about his captaincy?
I thought Justin Shanaka, his captaincy was very good. He brought on Theekshana in the second over and he got a wicket straight away.
Yeah.
So I don't know how anyone would have a go about his captaincy. I thought that was very good. I thought the batting order was absolutely perfect. I thought there was a few times where he could have fielded better, but that's, as a captain, that's not what you need. You need someone who's actually going to pick fields and who's going to pick a batting order.
Recently we have lost a few players due to injuries. So what's your take on that about fitness level about Sri Lankan players?
Yeah, I mean, people like Hasaranga, Kusa Pereira. Obviously, it's COVID. You can't help it. You know, he's gonna. Kusa, no,
That's Kusa Mendes, you daft-
Kusa Pereira. Kusa.
He won't play. He'll be on the bench.
Kusa Pereira, obviously COVID. You can't help it. It's something that happens. You know, you can't change that. But things like Hasaranga, I think the LPL being so close to the Asia Cup is tough. You know, it's so condensed. The cricket schedule across the whole world is so condensed, back to back. But if you're a good player, you play the T20 competitions, you play the country competitions. It's very hard to stay fit across the whole year. You know.
I think at the end of the day, what the injuries give is an opportunity for new players to do well. And so we saw some new players from Sri Lanka playing very well today, and that was really good to see. So I think Sri Lanka. So what? So it's Afghanistan,
Yeah.
and then who in your group?
And then whoever. No, that's it.
yeah.
Whoever-
And that's your group.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yes, you're flying.
Pakistan and Bangladesh and then the Super 4 round.
Yeah, so you're flying. I think Bangladesh are a good outfit,
Yeah.
and you made them look very average today. So I think Afghanistan. Don't get me wrong, they're a very good team. They've got some very good players. Rashid Khan is someone to worry about, but I still think, judging on the performance today, especially by the bowlers, I think you got a very good shot of getting into the knockouts and upsetting India and Pakistan, who think they rule this tournament.
And with the World Cup coming up, what areas do you think Sri Lanka side has to improve?
I mean, it's hard to tell from today because today was quite an easy victory. But I mean, just that depth in batting. You know, if you've got those players in the middle order who can go. You know, they can hit really hard. If you've got those players at the beginning who can build a platform. You need those players that build platform for those guys later on to come in and you know play freely, play without any pressure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that's yeah.
I think if you look at the best teams coming into this ODI World Cup, look at the actual best teams. They've got people 1 to 8 maybe who could get 50 or 30. And what Sri Lanka are lacking maybe is a couple of players who could just go big quick. But then again, they've got such a good bowling lineup, they're going to cause anyone a bit of trouble. So,
Like with the likes of Matisha Patirana, who is bowling exactly like Lasim Malinga. What's your take on that?
He was awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed watching him. Like when he was bowling around the wicket, it was really cool. He sort of hid behind the umpire and then jumps out and then bowls. I mean, I can't imagine as a batsman, you know, facing that. It must be pretty tough. But yeah, no, it was really impressive today. Yeah.
And as well as Mahesh Theekshana, who is quite hard to pick on for the batsman with his mystery deliveries.
how the hell has he been bowling for so long and no one can pick his current ball? Like, how has he been? He's been bowling in this Sri Lanka team for what, like 5 years at least, and no one can still pick his current ball. So he's got to have something going for him. But he bowled what, like for like 5 overs, he was like 1 for 17. I don't know what he was at the end, but he was absolutely ridiculous. I hope. For England's sake, before the World Cup, he maybe has a niggle or has the yips or something like that. But yeah, he was incredible today.
So he looks like a major threat for England side.
Yeah, I'm terrified, but I think we've got a bit of wood. But yeah, no, I'm still terrified at the same time.
Who's your favorite player from Sri Lanka?
Historical or currently? Currently, Karuna Ratne for me.
Is it Dimut or Charmiga?
Dinut.
Dimut.
So Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka.
All-time favorite Sri Lankan player.
Oh, Sangakkara all day.
Malinga.
Yeah, fair dues. Yeah, Sangakkara made me love cricket. Honestly, I loved him so much. It was just the different helmet did it for me. More than anything else. I just loved it on the different helmet. Oh, I love Kings 11 Punjab Kings now. I've always supported them in IPL, and that's because of Sangakkara. He's one of my favourite players ever.
What do you think about Lanka Premier League compared to IPL?
If I'm really honest, in England, there's not much coverage of the Lanka Premier League. We don't really see it much. I'm very happy that it's going on and it's getting a big showing and it's getting a big coverage, because Sri Lanka is a country that needs to be big in the cricket scene, because it's one of the it's always been one of my favourite cricket countries. But personally, as a person in England watching, we barely get to see the Lanka Premier League.
What do you think about the cricketing atmosphere with the fans and Sri Lankan people?
Oh, it's amazing! This is my favourite game I've ever been to in cricket, and it's the grass bank, absolutely everything. It was just amazing. You don't get things like this in England. Don't get me wrong. You get more players to a game, more fans to a game in England, maybe because there's like a bigger stand. But just the atmosphere here was just perfect. I absolutely loved it.
Really enjoyed it.
Is England? Yeah.
You know, just everyone's having a good time, and it's very casual. Everyone just walks in, takes a seat where they can. Yeah, had a great time.
Who do you think will play in the finals in Asia Cup this year?
Well, Sri Lanka and then Pakistan, hopefully. I hate India. I don't know about you.
Oh, I hate both India and Pakistan, so I'll go Sri Lanka and Nepal. Yeah.
We'll continue from here.
Yeah, okay.
ये मजा ये मगा मुताबिक एक क्वेश्चन है का जाइए we'll end it from here with the last card. What do you think about the rivalry between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh? It's almost like India-Pakistan now.
So I actually didn't realise there was a rivalry until last week. I saw the Cobra dance and all that stuff.
It started all the way in back in 2018 with Nidal.
I didn't realise there was an actual rivalry until I knew I was coming to this match and sort of looked on Twitter and looked on all that stuff. But I feel like today we saw some Bangladesh fans. They were very friendly. Like on the pitch, it looked quite friendly. But yeah, no, I didn't actually realise there was a big rivalry. But yeah, no, it was good.
You know, I'm exactly the same as James. I saw it happen. We were sat over with a few Bangladeshis, and they didn't really seem like there was any rivalry. But maybe if the game was closer, there might have been some of that showing up. But it wasn't there for us to see.
And what's your take on Indian side for this Asia Cup? The squad they have named.
I think was it KL Rahul he's injured, so he's ruled out. That's a big loss. I think he's a big player for them, but I mean they've got so much depth. You know, they've got 3 players behind the first team player every time. You know, I don't think that's going to be a problem for them. I think if they get past Pakistan, if they get past, you know, they're going to be pretty good. But Pakistan are a good team. You know, it's going to be tough for them. Yeah.
And England have introduced a new format to cricket with the 100. So what's your take on that?
So I think the 100 has been very good for getting people into cricket that might not have been into cricket before. It's been very, very good for the women's game, having the women's game and the men's game on at the same time. I think for England cricketers, I think the fact that they have to play through the 100 and then the T20 and then our own 50 over competition and then play 4 days for their counties might not be the best for progressing talent into the England team. But at the end of the day, every single 100 game has a full sellout. So if you're looking at keeping the cricket game going on in England, the 100's doing something right because it has more crowds than any other game apart from a test. So whilst I think it has its flaws, I think it has been pretty good for making cricket more accessible to everyone in the country.
Okay, we have come to the end. Shall we give a cheer for our Lankan boys?
Hey!
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka!
Sri Lanka!
Sri Lanka!